Welcome to the first 5 at 5 of the season. And yeah, it might not last a long time, but seeing as we played first, it's nice that we are top of the league this year rather than bottom of the league last year. Anyway, listen, before I get into the 5, one favour I want from you guys. This year, I want to hit 50,000 subscribers on the channel. Right now, I'm about 33. So please do hit subscribe if you haven't already and like this video nice and early. Let's get into my 5 at 5. So number 1, and this is about Ben White. And I think really since yesterday's game, Ben White has not had anywhere near enough credit for his performance playing out of position against Wilfried Zaha. And I thought, you know what, let me have a look at the stats. Let me have a look at the numbers of the game. Ben White, he won 12 out of 17 ground duels against Wilfried Zaha. I mean, that's the most in the match in terms of ground duels won and shows how well he managed to do against him. That's 71% success rate. Brilliant stuff from Ben White there. He was only dribbled past twice. Now, when you think about Palace and their preparations for this game, they would have known that Arsenal don't have their first choice right back available. And when they think about where they can get some joy, our best player plays left wing and Arsenal are having to put a centre back into that position, they would have been putting a lot of emphasis on that, giving them some joy in this game. Zaha only managed to dribble past Ben White twice in the entire game. You can watch Zaha all season. I don't think many defenders are going to do better against him than Ben White managed to do, and that's a player playing out of position. On top of that, Ben White made 6 recoveries, 4 clearances, and most tackles in the match out of any player with 5. So overall, I think it was a really, really good performance. It's gone slightly under the radar, partly because of how well Saliba played. Ben White hasn't had the credit. And what annoys me about that is that when you consider last season against Brentford, the segments on Sky Sports and the amount of criticism he took for his performance in the opening game last season, has there been an equal and opposite response? Has there been equal and opposite praise for his performance in this game? Absolutely not. Has Gary Neville done a segment on Sky Sports talking about Ben White, how he's turned it around and his improvement? Absolutely not. But you know what? I think if you think about the fact that no one really talks about his transfer fee anymore, really shows how well Ben White has turned it around from what was a difficult start, and I think he deserves more credit than he's getting. Number 2, and now I want to talk about Martin Erdegaard. Look, you know, there's this thing with Arsenal fans, in fact, maybe it's all fans. I even saw it with Liverpool recently where I thought to myself, you know, you guys don't need to be complaining about much, but still they want to pick out some players. Arsenal were doing it as well. And we've had a really good win yesterday. I don't think anyone played badly, but Martin Erdegaard has come in for some stick. Now, it's one of those ones where had he not been in that position where he should have pulled the trigger and didn't when Jesus did some incredible work and cut it back to him, I don't think he would have attracted as much negative attention. But because of that moment, I feel like a lot of people have seemed to latch onto that and are giving him a bit of stick. Now, Erdegaard didn't have the best game that he could have had or potentially should have had, but Erdegaard does incredible things off the ball. He works so hard off the ball. And what I would say to anyone, listen and remember to this little tidbit of information I'm going to give you about Martin Erdegaard. If you ever feel like Martin Erdegaard is having a bad game, watch him off the ball for 5 minutes and you'll realise that actually he always has a good game off the ball. Now, clearly he needs to do stuff on the ball, and that's what I want you to put in the comments below. What are your expectations or targets for Martin Erdegaard this season? For me, I want to see him get into that double digits goal territory. I remember back in the day with Pires and Ljungberg, when they would do that, it'd really give teams a lot to think about in terms of the opposition and help us get through some of those tough games where our strikers necessarily weren't doing the business. And that's when we had Thierry Henry in the team, who always did the business anyway. So for me, Erdegaard needs to hit that double-digit goal tally, certainly double-digit contributions when it comes to goals, but I think we do need to appreciate more all of the stuff that he does off the ball, because that's why, for me, his captain really leads by example. Number 3, we've got to talk about Saliba. I mean, everyone is talking about Saliba, and what I love is that so many different people, I did it, and so many other people have started to compare him to a Rolls Royce. And I know we are getting a bit carried away. It's early days. It's only his Premier League debut, but he looked brilliant. And we're not basing it only on this. We're basing it on what he did for Marseille as well. He looks like one hell of a player. He was the most accurate passer in the game with 94% pass completion rate. and he won 4 out of 5 duels. I mean, listen, all in all, it was just a brilliant performance. The stats back it up. It was clear to the naked eye. He looked brilliant. What I want you to do, put in the comments below, who's Arsenal's best central defender? Gabriel, Ben White, or Saliba? You know, we're going to limit it to that because I don't think Holding is going to be up there for anyone. So put it in the comments below. I'm really curious to see who you think is Arsenal's first choice best defender. Comments below. For me, I don't know right now who I would say, but I think by the end of the year, it's going to be Saliba, and that will be the general consensus. I want to know what you guys think now. Put it in the comments below. Number 4. I don't know if you know this, but yesterday's win was significant for Mikel Arteta because it takes him to 50 wins as Arsenal's manager in the Premier League. So the question obviously is, how quickly has he managed to do that? How quickly has he managed to get to 50 wins? How many games has he managed Arsenal in the Premier League? I want you to guess. Have a little guess in the comments how many games he's played to get to 50 wins. And whilst you're in the comments and putting in your guess, I'll tell you one thing. Arsene Wenger did it quicker. Arsene Wenger did it in 94 games. Hopefully you've guessed by now because I'm going to give the answer. Mikel Arteta managed to do it in 98 games. On balance, that's actually not bad when you think about how sort of topsy-turvy it's been for Mikel Arteta. And maybe we just haven't had that many draws, because I can certainly think of quite a few defeats. And that statistic caught me by surprise. But well done. Congrats to the boss. And I think we saw one thing as well. The away fans really showed in yesterday's game just how much backing Mikel Arteta has got from the fans. It's been a good transfer window. Hopefully that will continue and we'll get 1 or 2 more. And the team, it seems like, are in a really good position. So it'll be interesting to see. He's hit 50 wins in the Premier League in his first game by the end of the season. Is he going to get up to 75? That's sort of a target that I'd love to see him get up to. Hopefully we'll manage it and have a really productive season. Number 5, talking about a productive season, I want to know from you, what are your expectations for this season from Arsenal Football Club and Mikel Arteta? This, for me, is the season of delivery. No more excuses. You go and look in that team, look at the starting 11 and a lot of the subs as well, and you see players that Mikel Arteta has signed. It's a massive difference from even last season, the team that started last season, never mind before that. So I feel like he's really had the opportunity, he's had the money, he's had the patience, he's managed to ride out the rough times, and boy, there have been some rough times. He's got rid of a lot of the players that he felt like didn't live up to his non-negotiables, these very famous non-negotiables. Now this is a team in his image. With all of this stuff that I've outlined before, there are no more excuses. For me, this has got to be the season of delivery. So put it in the comments below, your season expectations. For me, it's top 4 and a trophy. Whether that's FA Cup, Europa League, or even League Cup, whatever it is, we need to get a trophy. And I'd love to see us hit multiple trophies, because I think we've got a really good chance of winning the Europa League and a domestic cup competition. But clearly, look, a domestic cup competition, you're going to have to probably beat Man City or Liverpool. Is always going to be tough. The Europa League, you're at the mercy of who drops out the Champions League spots. But I think we can get one of those trophies. But qualifying for the Champions League has got to be an absolute minimum. And I want to see us do that through the league. Even if we do win Europa League, I want to see us finish top 4. Because that, over the course of 38 games, really shows what a team is about. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll check them all out in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching. If you didn't do it at the start of the video, please do it now. Hit subscribe, get me to 50k, like this video as well. It all helps with the algorithm. And on top of that, Arsenal did well. We'll see whether we're still top of the league come 5 p.m. when this video is released, because of the fact that obviously there's 3 p.m. Premier League games. But we've got a good run of fixtures coming up as well. So fingers crossed we can have a nice start to the season and be up at the top of the league and stay there for as long as possible. Until next time, take care.